So, let's say it's 2002. You're on your way to the local CD store. You enter the CD store and all the overwhelming choices vibe you in, but then you eyeball a certain section of the CD store. The flippin' metal section. And the CD that catches your eye, none other than Drowning Pool's Sinner. You then drive home in the drenching rain. Then you arrive at home. You then rush to your room, close the door, lock it, just so you can listen to your CD in peace. And what you hear on your CD stereo system amazes the heck out of you. The lead singer's powerful voice, the blaring drums, the heavy guitar riffs, you're hooked on Drowning Pool. Band histories, and this is Drowning Pool, Part 1. Dave Williams grew up in Princeton, Texas, living with his parents Charles Edwards and Joanne Williams. He grew up in an extremely devout religious family which forced him away from religion as a result. The two frontmen he most idolized was David Lee Roth and Vince Neil due to their really public personas. He was also in several bands before he joined Drowning Pool, such as Fugly Fugly, which in 2008 digitally remastered and released their album to honor the deceased frontman. However, these bands and projects he was in cemented him and made him the frontman he needed to be for Drowning Pool.
Let's move the band, shall we?
In 1996, two musicians relocate from New Orleans to Dallas, Texas. These two musicians being guitarist CJ Pierce and drummer Mike Luce, to which then they recruited bassist Stevie Benton. For a while they remained a trio, that is until in 1999. And who joins the band? None other than Dave Williams. And right after Dave Williams joins, they record some demos. Demos let them get in touch with several major artists in the metal industry, including Sevendust, Head PE, and Kitty. And after enough touring, they finally got radio play. And by 2001, their debut album released, and it was their push to stardom. Their album Sinner went platinum 6 weeks after its release. And several of their songs were featured in WWE that year. Along with that, 3 of those songs would be featured on the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z that year in 2002. However, this success would be short-lived because on August 14th that year in 2002, Dave Williams was found dead inside his tour bus from an undiagnosed heart condition. This condition being hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And that's it for Part 1. It's crazy to think how a person like Dave Williams with such a short amount of time in the spotlight was able to captivate so many new and old heads of metal, even if he was a mainstream metal band of the 2000s. Part 2 we will be covering the aftermath, or the era without Dave Williams in Drowning Pool. And if you like my content, please like, subscribe, follow. I'm out.